welcome back to the poker blog. Today it is Saturday the 27th of April. I'm here at Crown. I'm meeting up with my friend Eli and we're going to be playing in the $400 Teams event tonight. I've played a couple of Teams events here before, but I haven't played with Eli before. It's our first time playing together and hopefully we do alright. So let's go. The way this one works, one player sits down first with 5,000 and then after the first blind level, we swap over and the second person brings another 5,000 in chips to the table. We decided that Eli was going to play first, so he sits down, but unfortunately Eli didn't do a very good job at sending me hands. He did, however, lose a little bit of our stack to start with. When I sat down, I brought the 5,000 on and we had a combined total of 8,000. I think from memory he said that he got into a straight over straight situation and lost a little bit there. But that's okay, I've got a few hands that I played. So one of the very first hands that I played after sitting down, I had pocket tens. Blinds were 5,100 and we had about 7,500 in chips. It's folded around to me in the cutoff. I opened to 250 and everyone folds. So we took that down. Not long after that hand, I have pocket jacks on the button. Player under the gun opens to 250 and the next to act to is our friend Nikki. She makes 900. Cutoff calls and I decided to just flat with our jacks on the button. Yeah. And the person who originally opened calls as well. So we're going 3 ways to a flop, which came ace 9-5 rainbow. It's checked over to Nikki and she bets 2,800. Cutoff calls, I of course fold and the other guy folds as well. So they're going heads up to a turn, which came another ace. Nikki puts the other player all in. He snap calls and rolls over ace 4. She rolls over her ace king. River was a king and Nikki won that hand. If we had a 4-bet shop there, Nikki was going to call us 100%. I asked her later and she said she's definitely calling ace king. Not long after that one, I had pocket jacks in the small blinds again. Under the gun player limps in, next player makes it 300. I decide to make it 1,100 and he calls. Flop came king 8-3 rainbow. I c-bet 1,500 and he folds. So we took another pot down there. We're a couple of minutes away from swapping over again. I have pocket 8s in the cutoff. It's folded around to me. I open to 250 and I get a call from the small blind. Flop came queen 10-4 with 2 spades. I decided to take a stab at it and I bet 350. He check raises me to 900. I pretty much just folded straight away. That was the last hand that we played before switching over, and as he got up, I heard him say to his partner that there was too much out there for him to not check raise. We built up our stack a little bit. I never got it back up to the 10,000 when we switched back to Eli. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the hands that Eli played. I've got the one where he went out. This next hand here comes from the 300-600 level. We've only got 6k at this point, so we've got 10 big blinds. We had ace queen of hearts in small blinds. Our friend Nikki opens up to 1,500. I shove for 6k with our ace queen of hearts. The player in the big blind reshoves and Nikki folds. So the player in the big blind unfortunately also has ace queen, but he's got the clubs. Flop came ace high and we ended up shopping. Our stack just kept on dwindling down at this point and there really wasn't much we could do. We ended up busting when Eli was playing. He had 5 big blinds left. He was in the small blinds, folded around to him and he looks down at king 10 offsuit. He shoves into the big blind and he gets called by ace 7. There was an ace on the flop. I guess that is the end of our teams events. After the teams event, me and Eli decided to jump onto 1-3 tables. We end up on the same table and we sit down next to each other. It's a brand new table, so everyone's got between 100 and 300. And not long after sitting down, we play our first hands. I had pocket 10s in middle position. 2 players limp in and I decided to make it 18. Now, it gets around to the small blinds and he 3-bets me to $90. I decided just to let it go. For me, it was too early on. I didn't really have much information on this guy at this point. So I just let it go. I let him have my $18 and we moved on for a little bit until we got involved in another hand with this player. I have pocket jacks under the gun +2. So Eli's limped in under the gun +1. I decided to make it $10, which I know is really, really small. But I don't know, I only did that because Eli limped in. Gets around to the player in the hijack, which is the guy who 3-bet me and got me to lay down my pocket tens earlier. He makes it $35. I should point out that we've been playing for probably 30 minutes at this point, and at this point here, he's 3-bet me 3 times. This hand here is the 3rd time he's 3-bet me pre-flop in 30 minutes. Player next to act calls, and Eli also calls. I decided to just flats, you know, thinking, I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest. Flop came 10, 8, 5. Eli checks, I check, and then 3-bet guy decides to continue for $65. Guy next to act quickly calls, and Eli folds after thinking for a little bit. Now, gets around to me, and I decide to shove for 185 with my jacks. I had a pretty good feeling at this point here that 3-bet guy was just trying to push me around a bit. He thinks about it for a little bit and then he pushes his cards in. Here's where it gets weird. The other guy in the hand, who I really wasn't thinking too much about at this point, he puts his hands on his head and he leans back and he starts like groaning and acting like he's got a really, really big decision to make. He eventually says call, and turn came an offsuit 2 and the river came an offsuit queen. He rolls over pocket queens, so yeah, I didn't put him on that. Yeah, so we ended up losing our first buy-in very, very early on this table. I decided to get up, go and get a drink and go for a walk with Eli, just to refresh, I suppose. Getting Eli.
Long black.
I buy in for another 300 and yeah, start again. So, not long after putting in our second buy-in, I have ace-9 of hearts in the big blind. Under the gun, +2 limps in, middle position makes it 12, button calls, I call, and the limp calls. So we're going 4 ways to a flop, which came ace-6 for 2 spades, 1 heart. I check, limper leads out for 20. It's fold around to me and I make the call. Turn came the king of hearts, so we've got top pair and a flush draw now. I check, the other guy bets 35, I call. River came another king. I check, he bets 75, and I think about it for a little bit. Even though this hand happened over 2 months ago, back in April, I still recall what happened very well. Once we got to the river, I remember thinking that I'm only beating a busted flush draw. And I ended up calling because I'd actually seen this player probably 3 times in the past hour lead out into multiple people with draws and bet 3 streets. And, it was, this is pretty similar, right? That's kind of what it felt like here. So I called and I was right. And then decided to call. He rolled over 9-4 of spades for the busted flush draw and we took that one down. Alright, next hand here, we look down at ace-jack of diamonds under the gun. I opened to 11, middle position calls and the big blind calls as well. 3 ways to a flop, which came ace-5-6 rainbow. Check to me, and I also decided to check. I'm 90% sure the player in this hand is the same one from the previous hand as well. And I remember checking here because like 99% of the time when it was checked this player in position, he was betting no matter what he had. So I decided to check here just to allow him to bet. So yeah, as expected, the middle position limper bets 20. Play in the big blind folds and I call. Turn came a jack. I check and he checks back. River was a brick. This time I decided to go, I don't know. It says here that I went for a pot size bet and I probably did that because I thought he was going to pay me off with no matter what he had. But he didn't, he folded. So we just took down a little one there.
Alright, so it's 5:15 in the morning and I just finished up. I lost my first stack. I did rebuy again and then I sat there for a few hours. Very last hand I played, I had my rack and everything, I was ready to go, I was on the button. Woke up with pocket aces, like 5 people limp in, the guy in the cutoff. Yeah, so he raised 235, I made it 105 and he folded, so that brought us back up over the $400 mark. I think we cashed out with like $415 or something.
This was such a long, slow night.
We actually ended up cashing out with 425, not 415, which gave us a total loss for the cash game of 175, plus the $200 for the teams event gave us a combined losing total of 375 for the night. That brings us to the end of the vlog. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.